First of all, it's hard for me to accept that I'm just not a morning person. It is 3:20, 3:40. Though I have done things today, I have done them from the comfort of my couch, which doubled as my bed because I fell asleep on the couch last night. Um, so I feel like I'm just getting my day started, but I answered all the emails that I needed to answer. I still got a couple texts that I need to answer. I just Y'all, being a business owner is a lot. And I've said on here before, I am by far like not the best one, obviously. Um, but I do everything in good faith. And I had a client, remember, I'm services. I do have a little products here and there, but the bulk of my stuff is services, right? So I had a client dispute a charge after I did a lot of work. It's a long story, but then I had to like go through and do all that paperwork or whatever. They cleaned in the hallway in my apartment complex. So that's the noise if y'all can hear that. But anyway, I did all of that. That had been giving me a lot of anxiety. Like I think I've known about it since the 25th. They gave me the 25th of November. They gave me until the 10th of December to do it. Today's Monday. Started of a new month. All that's in the past. So I just decided to go ahead and take care of it. Um, so at that point, they look at all the evidence or whatever and decide who they want to give the money to. So whatever. I've given it to God. Now I need to replace that money. But what else did I have to do? Oh, I had to edit a video for a campaign for a brand and send that off. I had already finished it last week. There was one minor edit where I changed the script. And if I changed the script so that it will flow better for me and feel more like the way that I would talk. But if you guys have never worked with a brand before, compliance, and I guess I get it now more than ever because my last full-time job was at a bank and there was so much compliance. You could put out, it was a banking app. So we can put out an app, a ad saying download this app, and the disclosure at the bottom was this big because of compliance. Like there were so many levels of checks and balances. And they were like, hey, we kind of need you to put that part in. You took that part out. But I'm like, it sounds so addy. It sounds so advertisement. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. So I re-edited that part of the voiceover and sent that back to them. They said they got it. That's done with I got some other like random stuff to do on the computer today, but my dad called like he always does and says that his phone is doing something that it's not supposed to do. Usually there's a quick fix, but I have an advantage this time because we can do this in person. Normally this is over the phone, not even over FaceTime, where you can share the screen, because then I would have to explain to him that he can share his screen without somebody hacking him or whatever his brain is gonna come up with. Um, so we get to do this in person. He said he's not getting any emails. His email is broken. I'm gonna go fix his email. But I'm basically just packing my stuff to finish working because I'll probably eat dinner over there with them. The other thing is, yes, do I look 12 at all times? Unfortunately, I do. I am a 32-year-old woman, but I was blessed and cursed with never looking like an adult until I like really give effort, and it's not giving effort today. Again, my hair is freshly cleaned and dried. I just need to sit down with some flat irons. Yeah. And I have not wanted to do that yet. One, because I have my heat on in my house and y'all can see I'm wiping my nose. This is a hereditary thing. I sweat on my nose. My father does it, my brother does it, my cousins do it on my dad's side. I'm gonna see if I can catch my dad and my brother with their nose sweat today. And my nose can sweat when I'm cold as well. It doesn't matter. There's no real rhyme or reason. It's just like any temperature switch can make me sweat, specifically on my nose. So I'm not sick. I'm sweating and I'm wiping the sweat off, which is why, another reason why, I mean, the biggest reason is because I'm a little lazier, but huge reason why I don't wear makeup every day. As insecure as I am about my hyperpigmentation across my cheeks and my chin, not insecure enough to wear makeup every day. Or let me not say that, because makeup is not for people with just insecurities. I am not insecure enough to want to cover it up every day, because makeup is an art. Let me tell you, I still have not figured out, still have not mastered at this big age. I also can't paint, and I have this theory that like people who are really good at makeup would be really good, you know, artists in general. So if anybody out there is a I'm actually gonna ask my friend Sean. He's a great painter. Wonder if he's ever thought about being a makeup artist. He's gonna have all types of things to say about that statement, but yeah, I actually need to check on my friends today. We haven't talked much since it's been the holiday. Need to check in on everybody. But anyway, let me put on some shoes and get out here to this car. Did I take this medicine? Oh gosh. That's why it's always taking forever to get out the house. All right, let's go. I'm putting my seatbelt on today because if my mom watches my vlog from yesterday, she's gonna kill me. Today's car rant is going to be about how society and timelines and all of that try to steal our joy. So, as you guys might know, I am the older sibling. I am 32. I have been chronically single. And I don't want to label it as like jobless, but I didn't take the traditional route, as you guys know. I have tried to at different times, but it's just never been a great fit, or something always like pushes me back out to doing something creative, or trying to do it on my own. Let me not say it like that, because if I ain't learned nothing else, I ain't doing nothing on my own. Entrepreneurship is what I'm talking about, because God is this. I remember when I first started, like, being so hung up on titles and stuff like that, like being able to call myself a CEO. The more I've learned over the years, I didn't, and probably still don't even know half of what it takes to be a CEO. One, because I suck at delegating. That's something I need to work on. And I think it's because, I don't know if it's like the oldest girl syndrome, or the fact that I actually enjoy being behind the scenes of things. So like the things that I feel like I would delegate are the things that I actually would enjoy doing, if it was for someone else. There's all these different factors. But the more people I've met that have been in business longer than I have, and even not even longer, but have been more successful than I have, you know, revenue wise and like all that kind of stuff, numbers wise, I realized that I've been able to pinpoint some of the traits that they have that I don't have. And I think some of those traits are truly what make you a CEO. It's not that you went and paid for your LLC paperwork. It's not that, it's not just that people pay you for your craft. There's so much more. Like, it's a higher level of thinking. It's a higher level of risk. It's a higher level of strategy. There's so much that goes into it. And I've avoided a lot of those things for a while, and that has held me back. Being able to say that out loud without feeling like I'm calling myself a failure is that's progress. That's progress. Because some days I do feel like a failure. But bringing it back around to my original point, failure is kind of relative, right? Like,
if it weren't for the self-inflicted timelines and honestly most of the unrealistic goals, not even unrealistic in the sense, not unrealistic in the sense that they're not achievable, unrealistic in the sense that I knew I didn't have the strategy for it, and I didn't put in the work. Not to say that I don't work hard, I'm a hard worker, but there are circumstances in my life that have kept me from participating in hustle culture throughout these last 15-20 years. When I first started my business, it was hustle. What am I sleeping for? I got stuff to do. I need 10 projects at one time. Like I need my money. Same. Still the same. But still need the money is what I'm saying. But I had to come to terms with the fact that my circumstances are not those of a perfectly healthy white man with a trust fund. It's just not, those are just not my circumstances. And that's not to say that I'll never reach the goals that I'm trying to reach. It's just that my path will look different. The timeline will look differently. And I am guilty, like most millennials, of one, being sold a dream that if you go to college, get a degree, you know, the basics, don't go to jail, whatever, that you'll be perfectly fine. Like you'll be well off. Everything will go in your favor. And that was true for a while, I believe, for a lot of Americans. But it's just, there's so many nuances in that we ignore. Never mind, I was about to go off on a tangent about student loan debt, but I don't regret college at all. In the sense of like meeting the people that I met, and becoming the person that I am today. I feel like a lot of my personal development came from college. Those experiences, those people, wouldn't trade that for the world. But the amount of money for a piece of paper that ain't nobody ever asked me to see, I frame that and put that on my wall so I can look at it to remember that I can do hard things. College was hard for me, not necessarily academically, but mentally. That's another thing. They send us off to college at the most fragile point of our lives. Where is the cops at? I heard the sirens, but I don't see them. They send us off to college at the most fragile part of our lives. Like, I was so mentally fragile and I broke immediately. And so college was hard for me mentally and emotionally to work through, which was making it hard for me to focus on my work, if that makes sense. But once all that kind of like started coming together, like even without AI, you know, actually there was AI because I use Grammarly. If y'all don't know, my degree is actually in media communications and interactive digital media. So similar to what I do now, but it was a lot more focused on writing, because I was originally a journalism major and thought I would be a writer and that I would have my own magazine and stuff like that. That's what I went into college thinking. I still would love to do that. But anyway, college was hard. And so I framed that piece of paper and put it on my wall so that I can remember that I can do hard things and that I'm a forever learner. Like, I actually enjoy learning. It's just I have to set the environment to my environment got to be right. I lost my thought, y'all. I'm ranting. But anyways, stop. Yes, we should have goals. Yes, we should have a plan. But it don't have to be so rigid, because it being so rigid steals your joy. And again, bringing it back around to my first statement, being the single older sibling with the non-traditional path, like, makes me feel like a failure a lot of times. But I have been focused more lately on finding the beauty in it. Let me first start off by saying that I cannot thank God enough for the family I was blessed with. I am so fortunate. My brother and I are so fortunate to have parents who still desire to support us when we need it. They might not always have the means, but when they do, like, my parents never stopped being parents. And I've learned from just human experience, like being close to people who have different upbringings than I did. And it's so crazy because some of them have very similar upbringings, but the dynamics in the household are not the same. And that's not to bash any of my friends or any of their circumstances, but it makes me so grateful. And I actually learned this lesson for the first time in high school, realizing that, like, my family doesn't fight like other people's families. There's not like a lot of drama. Like we can have family gatherings and like look forward to them because it's gonna be a good time. And I realized that in high school that some of my friends didn't have that dynamic in their households or in their like extended families. And I don't know, just as I'm getting older and getting into my 30s, you know, there's all this talk about like, oh, you 30 and don't have your own house, you don't, you know, there's all this like bashing that happens on social media about where we're supposed to be in life, and we internalize that. And I feel like a lot of that comes from culture of like, at 18 you grown, get out, or 16 you grown, get out. Like that's how some families operated. Now I did leave home at 18 or 19 maybe, but I was allowed to come back if I needed to, if I wanted to. Like, and everybody doesn't have that opportunity. Everybody doesn't have that that advantage. I don't desire to move back to St. Louis at all. At all. There's not much that would besides like some crazy family disaster or something, I have no desire to move back to St. Louis. Would it be cheaper? Yes. Would I be able to save money and do some things a little differently? Yes. But I'm much happier here, and I'd rather struggle through the financial part of it and figure that out than go home and have my mental take a toll, if that makes sense. But in that decision, I am blessed that I can call my parents, and I'm not even talking about just like, I'm not a trust fund kid by any means. Like, I can't say like, hey, I need a new car, or I need a new laptop, or I need to like whatever. I can ask for little things, but those little things, and sometimes I don't even have to ask, and that's a blessing in itself. Like all of that is such a blessing. But being the very, I sometimes call it like toxically independent person that I am, I have been struggling with the dichotomy of like knowing that I have that advantage, knowing that I have that blessing, that support system, this favor, but accepting it makes me feel less than. It makes me feel like a failure. And I feel like I'm using the word failure a lot. I'm not sure if there's another word to describe it, if that's too dramatic, but a lot of times it's not. Sometimes I just feel like a failure. I feel like a burden because as the oldest child, not married, I don't have children, I don't have a traditional job, but like I'm very much rich auntie, but it depends on the time of the year. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know, like I'm trying to let go of all of those random expectations and timelines and stuff. And honestly, it's I'm gonna stop yapping here. Traffic is kind of bad, so I'm going to my brother's house, but it's been 13 minutes and I'm like halfway there. And he only lives 10 minutes away. Dallas is kind of crazy like that. But I forgot what I was about to say. It's just interesting. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I never really had a plan. I never really had a timeline. Like, at least nothing. I had a plan and a timeline for my business and myself as a like entrepreneur that obviously went to shit. But I never really had a plan or like checkpoints for myself as a woman. Yet somehow being single and childless still feels like I missed the mark, though that was the goal in a way. Like, not that it was the goal, it's just I didn't have a goal that countered that, if that makes sense. So is this not the consequence of my actions? Like, I put so much time into business that I didn't at all really focus on like dating and courting and stuff like that. It's especially not with the standards and the, like, you know, the requirements that I have now. That's completely changed. Because it's not like I haven't been in love and stuff before. It's not like I haven't been proposed to, shit, but I'm not the same. So like, I couldn't have accepted those proposals, or I couldn't have, you know, like, it's funny how life works out. Is my whole point. And at the end of the day, life is going to work out. And overall, what is it, Jeremiah 29:11? I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper. I need to fully memorize that, but y'all know what I'm saying. Hold on, let me look. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. God has a plan. Like, my lack of plan doesn't mean that I will get less than I deserve or less than God wants for me. It's just the way that we use our human flesh brains to try to rationalize it. And holding on so tight to our plans and our desires steals our joy sometimes. And this is something I had to realize recently, that so and again, I need to do better about memorizing specific verses, but there's a verse in the Bible that says, like, the Lord would give us the desires of our hearts. And at first, to me, that meant, okay, everything I want is mine. Like, what's for me is for me, right? We say that all the time. But I think we have to step back and think about, okay, well, what's my heart posture? What's my heart posture? Because if my heart is in the wrong place, the desires of my heart ain't got nothing to do with God. Where is my heart? And so working on my heart posture has helped me to reframe my desires in a way that will align with God's will. And if at that point it is his will, then it'll be done. And letting go of that control, if this was alcohol, I would have to take a shot to that. Because and I don't even drink like that anymore, y'all. What's going on with the camera? Okay, there we go. Yeah, letting go of that control is so hard. And I don't know if it'll ever not be hard. But I'm surrendering every day. Every day I have to wake up and lay my life down again. One of the things that I learned at the Woman Evolve conference, which the theme was another surrender, is that there will be another surrender. We get to certain points and feel like, okay, I made it through that trial. I made it through, like, whatever that test was. And so we should be smooth sailing from here, right? No. There will be another surrender, because the cost of the next level is always going to be the level you're on. I have to surrender what I've accomplished here in order to go to the next level and be focused on that level. So there's always another surrender. And I think that'll probably get easier as I continue to grow in my relationship with God. But right now, every day is a surrender. I surrender multiple times a day. Not even just every day, but multiple times a day. And not just saying it, like, not just saying, like, oh, Lord help me, or, God's will be done. Like, not just saying it, but, like, truly believing. There was something a friend of mine said recently, Alana said recently, that somebody said to her, and I can't remember the exact phrase, but it was something along the lines of, like, are you just having faith because you actually believe and trust God, or are you just having faith out of, like, being desperate? And I think for a long time, my faith was rooted in being desperate. My faith was rooted in lack. Like, okay, I can't do this, or I'm out of options, so now let me give it to God. You're supposed to do that first. You're supposed to do that first. And again, these are things that are easy to say out loud once you understand the concepts, but putting them into practice is so hard. It's so hard. But yeah, that's something that I'm working on. Putting actual trust in God. Actual trust. Using him as my counsel, like asking him about decisions, and nothing's too small and nothing's too big for, like, us to talk to him about, yet we feel like we can only go to him about the big stuff, or that's when it's the most convenient. And yeah, anyway, I don't know how I got there, but my point is, surrender those timelines, surrender those plans. A lot of people had a hard 2024, and that might result in trying to overplan 2025. And I am here to say, don't leave God out of it. That's my point. Don't leave God out of it, because your joy, the joy that we're supposed to have, regardless of what's going on, can be stolen by those disappointing timelines and, all of that stuff. My other point was that though my life does not look like what I thought it would, or at 32, I'm not who I want to be or where I want to be. What are we doing? Why are we honking? I'm over here trying to find peace, and y'all making chaos. Though all of those things are true, one of the perks of being the single sister, maybe specifically, is that they still take care of me. So, you know, I get to be a kid around. Most people don't even know that my brother is younger than me. I love his life for him. Like, and there are completely stressful parts about his life. Like, I pray for him all the time because he's not as vocal as I am about his frustrations, at least not to the family. He might be with his wife, which is that's where it's supposed to be, and hopefully he is with God. But like, there are some huge frustrations in his life, and I have to like, I try to intercede for him just in case he's not taking it to God himself. But people think that he has this like perfect life, and especially for his age. Well, he's 30 now, so like we're not that far apart. But he is the younger sibling, yet he has his life more together. And I love that for him. It's actually funny. I'm talking a lot, but it's crazy because if you know me, you know that my memory, it remembers what it wants. It has a mind of its own, literally. But I remember after dropping him off to college, his first day of classes, when we were back in St. Louis, I was driving. So he went to school in Chicago, and we came back to St. Louis, and I was driving to work, and I knew that it was like his first day of class or like something like that. And I cried so hard on my way to work, just driving. Most of the time I drive and cry. Like, if I'm gonna cry, I'm not much of a crier, but if I'm like in my feelings, it's something about being in the car that just washes all the, just my system just flushes every tear that I've been holding all year. I was bawling so hard, and I remember, I don't think that my faith then was where it is now, or my relationship with God then isn't where it is now, or wasn't where it is now. But I remember almost making a pact with God, like, please protect him. Whatever hurt, harm, danger, hardship, like whatever might come his way, give it to me. I'll take it. I will take it. And there have been times over the years since I prayed that prayer or made that pact or whatever that I'm like, girl, what did you do? Because you get in all of it. You get in all of it. But I would do it again. I would do it again for sure. And so my brother, you know, he very much has his life together. Whatever is together for, I don't know, I guess visually, aesthetically, all that kind of stuff. I know there are goals that he still wants to meet, but he's doing very well for himself in a lot of areas, and I love that for him, and I benefit from it sometimes too. You know, like, I get to be the kid. Like, I'm going over here because my parents are here, and I know they're gonna cook dinner or whatever they're gonna do. I'm not gonna miss out on it just because I have my own place. Like, no, I'm gonna pack my bag. I'm gonna come be in the mix because you're not gonna leave me out. Like, but that's the perks. Like, I joke all the time about, like, when my brother asks me to do stuff, you know, with his real estate business. My brother is actually very creative and capable. Like, I can show him how to do something one time. He's made his own websites. He makes his own flyers. He does his own content a lot of the times, but sometimes he asks me to like come along and do some stuff. And when I do, I plan to be gone all day. It's usually on a Friday. I plan to be gone all day, and I plan for him to feed me at least 2 meals. Like, that's a perk. I don't know if y'all not out here struggling to, like, one, just figure out what you want to, like, and that's another thing about me not being a parent yet. Like, y'all really have to plan meals for other humans. That's a lot. I'm that's a lot of thought process. And I don't know if it's because of, you know, I do very much live with chronic fatigue and, you know, a bunch of other stuff that takes up my mental capacity throughout the day. But thinking of having to plan things for someone else, oh my God, I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready. Oh, which reminds me, I'm supposed to dog sit. What's today? Okay, today's Monday. I'm supposed to dog sit Tuesday through, well, not really dog sit, but I have to go check on family, friends, animals Wednesday through Friday. Yeah. I just remembered that in this random thought. But anyway, yeah, I said a lot. I think every vlog this month will probably have a car rant. I didn't expect for it to be this long. Most people don't know that I'm a yapper. I'm to myself until I'm not. And like, once you get me to talking, good luck getting me to stop. So I am now pulling up at my brother's house. My mother texted me something about burgers and fries for dinner. It's 4:21. I'm assuming they're probably not ready because my brother and my sister-in-law are probably not even home from work yet. Well, my sister-in-law, I don't know where she's at. She's on maternity leave. Literally, the baby could be popping out now, and she's probably out shopping or something. Literally has not sat down. But I know my brother's at work, so we will see. I guess I'm not gonna park in their parking spot, and I'll park in my designated parking spot. These people have had their trash cans out for 2 days now, and I know that's their prerogative because it's their house and I'm just a guest in the neighborhood. But I'm almost positive that that's against some type of HOA or something. Like, if we're gonna live in these nice neighborhoods, and like, why not play by the rules, guys? Pretty sure that's against the HOA. But anyway, I'll be back.
Goofball. Get out your mouth. Get out your mouth. You just do the opposite of what TT says. Papa, say hi, TT. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Say hi, TT. Look at that on your face. You wipe your face. Oh my gosh. And for me, oh Lord. Almost broke my leg. Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Hmm? What you want? You really want a bottle? You might as well use your words. Let's go ask mommy. Come on. Say, mommy, please. You look like you don't want to ask mommy. Come on. The baby who doesn't speak real words wants to know if he can have a bottle.
Not yet.
Okay.
Sorry. You said who don't speak good? Can you give him some fruit?
Okay.
Blueberries?
All right. What? Where did you get that stuff from? Is that already on the floor? And blueberries? Thank you. Can you give this to me? Thank you. Here, take it. And TT get you some blueberries. Come on. Put that back because Gigi gonna be looking for it. You want blueberries? Cheese. This is a fat boy. You laughing at? Yogurt in it?
Yeah. He just ain't ate no food. Don't give him yogurt yet. Give him just fruit.
Okay.
And then later on, some babies have sleep regression. He has eat regression. And maybe I know he being picky. Maybe later on I give him some potatoes. See if he eat that.
Battery's dying. We gotta put the camera on the charger, buddy. Hello.
Put a pinch of turkey. No, we're not putting any turkey. We're just gonna see what she do.
Just make it chicken wings and.
Where are you going, Mia Mia?
What is the problem?
I believe in them though.
But the Bible literally says don't turn to mediums.
Right.
But is that not what a dream book is? Trying to interpret something that you don't have knowledge of?
No, it's like the dream book that I have is to pray if you ever have a dream. Like say I had a dream about water, like pray on that. Or say I had a dream about a loved one visiting me, pray on that. Like that's what the dream book is.
Where you going?
Look it up real quick, dog.
I can't. I got a baby trying to fight me.
There's no way.
I'm gonna go back to college.
Who was talking to me?
I was about to say,
Look, that's terrible timing. Terrible timing.
I literally ignored it. I acknowledge that.
There's another thing on that connects to my phone.
Hey, you okay?
Conway, chill out, bro.
It looks like in Welsh it means chief.
I like that.
Why did you do that voice? Stop it. In Irish, it means the head of something. Conway. Since we got this demanding baby over here. Hey, you can't draw on your mommy's camera.
We already looked up face, right? Yeah, that meant warrior or something. No, hunter. Hey, chill out.
What's your problem?
Patience. He wants this pen to be open and I closed it.
Go get his little drawer. I'll go get his little stuff. Trey, go get his drawer and stuff.
Yeah, Chase is it's a gender neutral. I don't know no woman named Chase. It means hunter or huntsman.
Yeah, we looked that up the other day.
You don't have to press every button you see, bro.
Is this why you have a, what you call those things over there? What? Cutting board. Give me one of those cutting boards.
What are you cutting on? If not the cutting board.
She's on a plate. A glass plate.
Hey.
Hey, my boy. Here, look what I got. Look. Roll it upside down.
That's good.
Hey, stop.
I wonder if he's wrapped. Did we check okay, we checked everything with his do that in here, you got that. Mama, where can I put that?
Thank you for dinner. I don't know why I said it like that accent, but say hello. Yeah.
I'm drinking
Say
water.
tee. I'll take.
You got water already?
No. Sure, can I have water?
Why are you in my shirt, boy?
Water. I had it my last time.
Dunk it.
I feel bad. There's water.
Look at
Like all day.
him. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Gotta know you, man. The baby crying, screaming to my
my daddy watching the TV extremely loud. I'm overstimulated.